Welcome to Play by Play, my new series of videos in which I am going to take you on a guided tour through pieces which I think you will enjoy both learning and performing. To kick off this series, I have chosen a piece loved around the world, and that is Dvorak's wonderful, charming Humoresque. Before we get stuck in with today's piece, I just want to say a very quick welcome to anyone new to the channel. My name is Julia Morneweg, and I very much hope that you will enjoy watching my content as much as I enjoy making it for you. If you would like to support me, please subscribe and smash that like button. And if you would like to help me make more videos in the future, you can now do so by leaving me a little tip via the link below. So without any further ado, let's get started on today's piece. The music for this piece is available in volume 3 of the Suzuki Cello School. Now, this is very easily available on sites like Amazon, and I'm going to post a link below if you want to order it. The piece is also currently on the ABRSM Grade 5 syllabus as well, even though there it gives you a slightly different edition, but actually the cello part is exactly the same. So it doesn't matter which one you use. So let's get started. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about this wonderful rhythm that we have at the beginning here, this very charming what makes this piece so wonderful right from the off. The question, of course, is how do we achieve this leggero character that Dvorak asks for here? And our first clue really is when we look at the music, we have always got the semiquaver followed by the 16th note, just to clarify, followed by a semiquaver or 32nd note rest. And that rest is absolutely crucial for us, because what we need to do in that rest is completely relax our right arm. So if we are first of all just trying the stroke on its own, you see that after each stroke I stop. But of course it's not a hard stop, it's not that at all. Each stroke has very much got this shape, the kind of saucer shape, or banana if you like, yeah? So you're going with a little soft stop in between. And what happens in between is that we want to make sure we completely relax our hand, our bow hold, so that when we start moving again, we have got this wonderful sense of cushioning in our fingers here. So we can't have any sort of rigidity going on, because if we do that, if I keep my fingers locked, look what I'm getting. Yeah, so you're getting this really sort of, kind of beginnery sort of sound. And if you want to shake that off, which is certainly possible, the way to do that is to consciously relax really every single muscle fiber in your hand here, and you want to keep that lovely springiness in the joints and in the fingers. So especially check out your right thumb here. You don't want a sort of rod in there. You want to have especially that joint of the thumb here really, really, really springy. Yeah, so you play, relax, and prepare in the left hand for the next group. And relaxed, next banana shape. Prepare in the left hand, relax, relax and prepare, shift, for practice purposes, you can really exaggerate the length of the rest to start with, yeah? So you go, prepare, relax, and really, I don't care how long the rest is initially. If it takes you a minute to relax, it takes you a minute. Yeah, you just want to make sure, you want to bake in really that you are never playing with a tight hand. Relax, and arm moves. And you can hear that when everything is relaxed, you get this lovely ring in the sound here. Yeah? Now, how do we shape the phrase? We're starting off here, sort of at the bottom of the phrase, and as we're going up, can you see that I'm gradually starting to use more bow? Yeah, so if I want to open the phrase, I mean, of course, there isn't really a crescendo written as such, but the shape, just the geography of the phrase kind of gives it away a little bit, yeah? So you start with less, now more bow, and the other way around. And then once we land on the long note, we have to take the bow speed right down in order not to end up in a part of the bow where it's going to get difficult. So save your bow and count to 4. Yeah, so it's really worth investing heavily in practicing this bow stroke and this rhythm a lot, because that section comes back 3 times in total. Let's now look at the second section, where the demands are altogether different, because while the beginning was more a gentle little dance almost, here we're very much switching over to singing. So you can already see there that I'm now using a lot more bows. So you're really using, especially your upper arm, really to get this sound out of the instrument. And one thing that's incredibly important here is connecting our bows. And there are 2 tips I have for that. The first one being that really the bow changing never stops. It's very much that kind of elliptical shape here, that lying figure of 8. So it's not that you play one note, oh, I've done that now I worry about the shift and the bow change. No, from that first note, the shift and the bow change start, that idea starts from the moment you start the note. You can see here that while I'm playing the down bow, my arm is already starting to go around the corner for the next bow. And of course, what you need for that is a very, very supple wrist. Yeah, so everything here has to be very pliable, really very, very, very elastic. Yeah, and the other thing which really also helps with the phrase is trying to maintain a vibrato that's as continuous as possible. So you don't kind of want to stop-start, you want to almost always try to sort of vibrate into the next note, to slightly increase the vibrato towards the end of the note. helps with building the phrase. After a quick detour to the opening idea, we now get to bar 25, the minor section. And here we want a really rich, deep sound. And of course that requires us to do a couple of things. It requires us to, first of all, somewhat change our contact point and go closer to the bridge. So where we're going to get a fuller, richer sound. And we want to really make sure that our arm is so heavy. Really, we want that kind of feeling on the bow. So there is no raised elbow going on. Everything just goes into the string. Yeah, you can see again, I'm using quite a lot of bow. Everything connects, and try really to vibrate through the notes as much as possible. Yeah, there you go. So that is and that the same idea really for the second line of that. Now let's take a look at bar 33, where we get the same idea up the octave. So from there, for the next two lines, we have got a couple of challenges to navigate that I'm going to take you through. So let's start from bar 33, and we've got now that's one place that I usually, when I do this with students, find people are having issues with. First of all, two things. Make sure you're absolutely clear about the rhythm. So yam da da dum bum ba da da. So make sure you kind of tap and clap that out before you try to play it. The unit you are counting in here is quavers or eighth notes. So da 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 dum bum 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 ba ba bum bum ba dum. Yeah, sorry, I don't think I did that quite right. Yum ba ba bum bum ba ba ba. Rather. There you go. Okay, so we're going to sort the rhythm out first, and the second thing about that bar is you need to have an absolutely squeaky clean extension technique, otherwise it's going to be out of tune. Squeaky clean extension technique means fingers 2, 3, 4 and the thumb have to stay in line, and you only move the first finger away. You do not try to do something like that, because then nothing will be in tune. Yeah, you can check on my channel. There are lots of videos where I'm talking about extensions. So let's put that together. So you see here 2, 3, 4 are in line, and the first finger extends backwards. So here you're going into your fifth position. So second finger goes on to the G. And now you have got space on either side of the second finger. Yeah, so if you don't like that fingering, you can also just do fourth position and harmonic also works. Okay, that then comes back one more time, but with a slightly different ending in bar 40. And bar 40 is the one with the big shift. So there are a couple of pointers here that I want to give you. If you actually get this Suzuki book, there are at the bottom of the page here, there are a couple of preliminary practice exercises which are actually quite good, which I would encourage you to do. And one of them is simply playing a scale up to that C. And the other one is about doing the shift. Now, speaking about the shift, the first thing that is absolutely paramount is you need to get your alignment right. If you start to shift and your elbow is down here, there is physically no way you will ever get to the C, because you will simply hit the shoulder of the instrument. So the first thing you need to practice is that your elbow is all the way out. So you third finger is above the string, so you've got full clearance to get here without anything in the way. Yeah. So one way I always like to approach these shifts is, first of all, start by hitting the top notes out of thin air, so to speak. So you just learn hand down, out, arm out, fold in half, onto the C, over and over and over until you're really, really confident with that. So you first of all get the target notes right, and then you worry about how to get there, because that means that you already know what your target arm shape is. Yeah, and the arm shape at the end really has to be such that you can park your bow on it. Yeah, and then so by the time you're on the D, arm is all the way out in the position that you need here. And then when it comes to the actual shift, one little trick that I use for myself, which stops you, well, basically overthinking and trying to micromanage the shift to such a degree that everything goes wrong. Yeah, because that's very often when we have big shifts, that's what tends to happen. The mind goes into overdrive. We're trying to control everything, and then everything falls apart. So what I try to focus on in moments like that, when I have really big shifts, is I actually try to focus on nothing but the bow. So I have done all my left hand donkey work. I have done the, hitting the note, getting the correct arm placement, movement, everything. Now I am just focusing on getting the most perfect bow changes I can get. And I tell myself, if I practice getting the perfect bow changes, if I focus on getting the perfect bow change, I'll get the shift for free. So let's try that. So don't look at your left hand, only aim for a perfect bow change. And that trick, in my experience, both with myself and with my students, tends to work every time. So that was a little walkthrough of Humoresque. Of course, the last two remaining sections are pretty much identical to the openings. So I hope this has been helpful. And any questions or comments, as usual, pop them below into the comment section, and I'll be happy to have a chat. Happy practicing.